Archon presents a Ghost Logic game.
All right, welcome to Florida Green, our modern Pulp Cthulhu game, where our investigative players fight through mind-bending terror and villains from beyond the veil. I'm Matt, aka Ghost, and I'm here with my very talented friends and players, Archon, Kizik, and Allie. And right now we're in the middle of a module called A Victim of the Art. But we'll get to that shortly. Being in the middle of it, we're going to have a really good recap. But as we do, we will start with a banter question, and I kind of hinted at it earlier off air, but we're gonna go deeper with it. If you had to spend a weekend with a cryptid, which one would it be, and why? We'll start with Archon. Archon, which cryptid would you spend a weekend with?
Allie, I can use the one I wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Yeah, it would be the Mothman, because the Mothman is wise.
Are you learning, like, hoping to learn from it, or
Yeah,
just
gonna learn all its secrets.
Hey, what's your game plan for making it through the weekend?
That will be a bit trickier, as the Mothman generally is there right before disaster strikes. So, yeah, that's why I wouldn't party with it, because its version of a party is probably not good for people.
So you imagine your weekend to be like, just like camping out in the wilderness with it?
I imagine it'd be like the end of that dungeon you do for him in Fallout 76, where you commune with the Mothman and you just instantly get a buff to your wisdom and intelligence. And the little thing pops up in the corner of my vision and tells me how much better I am.
So, if you came back after spending the weekend with the Mothman, what story would you tell? It's just we hung out, or
I'm more wise, so I wouldn't tell people things that would get me locked in a mental institution. That doesn't seem wise at all.
I see. All right, Allie, if you could spend a weekend with a cryptid, which cryptid would it be?
Well, it absolutely wouldn't be Mothman, imagine. I would pick something a little closer to home. This is a North Carolina cryptid. It's called the Boojum.
What is the Boojum?
So the Boojum is half man, half beast. He's 8 feet tall and covered in white hair, so I imagine he's Gandalf. And the two main things you need to know about the Boojum is he likes collecting gems and looking at pretty girls, and honestly, same. So there's our weekend.
So you just like go hang out, watch people. Um,
Yeah.
Are you gonna like?
Gandalf and I are going crystal hunting.
Okay, all right. Is he the kind of cryptid you could have like a bottle of scotch with?
Sure, but I mean, he's North Carolina based, so it's probably nothing as sophisticated as scotch.
Just light beer.
Well, I pulled up a picture of him, and in the picture I'm looking at, he's wearing cut-off jeans and holding a thing of moonshine, so...
So is this like a Yeti kind of like frame? What does this thing look like?
he... So we have, like, Bigfoot-type things in North Carolina, but he honestly just looks like a really tall hillbilly with a tail.
I'm pretty sure I work with a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Tail
Do you
and
have a
all.
game plan making it through the weekend with him? You don't need like silver bullets or anything like that.
No, I plan to win him over with my dazzling personality and a couple bottles of moonshine.
And the fact that you're a pretty girl.
And I'll bring some nice rocks for him.
Right. I like it.
Honestly, we'll just go gem mining.
Panning in the river.
Yeah.
Kizik, if you had to spend a weekend with a cryptid, which one would it be and why?
Do you guys know about the Thunderbird?
Yes.
A giant bird from the Midwest, right?
Yeah, I'd like to spend a weekend with a Thunderbird. Because it's real big, and if I can, like, save one of its babies, then it'd be nice to me, and then I can ride on its shoulders as it's bringing in thunder and lightning. I think that would be super fun.
I like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or it could just show up and I could get thundered and lightning dinged, and then I would die. Actually, my littlest daughter, she was scared of the lightning and told me she can't go outside. We have a new freezer in the garage, but it was storming, so she couldn't go into the garage to get her outside dessert because she was scared the lightning was going to hit her and she was going to turn into a statue. So this lightning bird hits me, Thunderbird hits me, I'm going to just turn into a statue.
It'd be kind of terrifying. A little bit of Medusa powers in that Thunderbird lightning.
Yeah.
But you'd be a statue holding dessert, so...
You're gonna change the what Bohemian Rhapsody? Thunderbird and lightning. Very, very frightening.
I'm a statue.
Statue.
And I can't eat my ice cream.
Oh no!
No. All right, cool. I like all of your cryptids. It makes sense. Mothman. We got Thunderbird, and I can't remember what Allie said, but Allie's was cool because it was like a
Boojum.
boodum. Boodrum? There's an R in there?
Boojum.
Oh. Boojum. Got it. There is a cryptid out of DC. It was kind of famous when I was growing up. I don't know if it's still kind of famous, but apparently there's a large cat that prowls around the National Mall late at night. And when I say large cat, like it's the size of a jaguar or a puma. Yeah, many people say that they have seen it. And I think it would be really cool to find that thing and hang out with it for the weekend because it would have all the cool spots in DC marked out. Could take it, go to the ballparks and see the things. You could do Bond Circle with it, hang out, people watch. Like Allie, I like people watching. I gotta find the name of that thing. It's just, I think, the cat, but I'll find out. We'll let you know.
I love a cat cryptid.
Cat cryptids are cool. Speaking of cat cryptids, you guys had a pretty good plan walking into this module. This module is called a Victim of the Art. It's a Delta Green module. But you guys went to Glen Ridge, Long Island at the behest of an FBI agent named Agent Carson. And he contacted you guys because his field agents here in Long Island came up with some weirdness when they were investigating 2 murders that happened, within 15 days of each other. I think we said it's currently like October time in this time frame. And I think it's October 22nd. It would be a Monday. I think all of that is true, but if your notes say different, let me know. I bring this up because you guys got to Glen Ridge, Long Island, and there was an investigation already in play by the local Glen Ridge PD and the FBI agents that were here before you. And they were checking out these 2 murders, both of which had similarities in that the bodies were found headless, spineless, and with injuries consistent with a fall. There was also a weird gray polymer that was taken from the victim's fingernails in both of the crimes. So, Agent Carson gets a hold of the old lines of the program and calls Silas Kincaid, who taps you guys to come up here as official FBI consultants, work with Hannah Gregson, a detective with the Glen Ridge PD, and try to come up with a solution. Because if this thing is weird, the local cops and the Dr. Steven Santorini, the local medical examiner, they need to get a straight story so that they can close this up. So that's one of your tasks. The second task is to find and stop this murderer, serial killer. And you guys were on the case investigating this thing. And there was something about something flying in the air late at night, around 3 a.m. The weirdness in this town, it made you guys stay up all night when you got here. And Graham Eckert even saw a weird prototype plane as it flew in from possibly the local Air National Guard base or the Northrop Grumman facility out here, because they're both kind of in the same location. And this prototype plane came over, flew over Glen Ridge, stopped, changed directions, flew at a high rate of speed, stopped, changed directions. That's what this purple path is up here. It was a weird prototype aircraft. But you guys went to bed late that night, and you woke up to the news that there was another murder. And you met Detective Gregson and Dr. Santorini on State Highway 31 at a power tower where the local power company was there pulling down a body. The body was almost straight away confirmed that it was a young woman named Lauren Harrogate. And this was determined because Lauren's house was broken into early last night, or early this morning, about 3 a.m. The alarm went off, and the French doors to her second-story bedroom were broken in, and Lauren was taken out of her bed. Her mother, Sandra, saw something and went catatonic, and you guys hurried to the scene to maybe try to talk to the mom or investigate what happened to Lauren. And the gentleman went around the house investigating. Miss Stella went and did clairvoyant kind of hypnotism on Sandra Harrogate, and it was determined that Sandra saw something with wings that took her daughter. And I think that you guys determined, with the help of the Codex and a connection with the internet, that it is called a winged servitor. And then in the investigation into Lauren's room, you guys found some of the gray polymer. You also found her cell phone. So let's pick it up. I'm going to throw it back to you guys. You guys have this evidence in front of you. You have her phone. You have the information that I gave you in the recap. You have some notes. Do you guys have any questions before we jump into this?
I have a note that she saw a winged creature in a bright light. Did I make up the bright light?
Probably not. The bright light's not in my notes, but it actually makes sense that you did hear bright light. So
I may have made it up.
sure, wings and bright light.
Okay.
So this is an official crime scene. You're in Lauren Harrogate's bedroom on the second floor of her house. It's this nice little white house. Her bedroom looks out on the Peconic Bay, so she's got waterfront views. The sheets on her bed have been mussed. There's probably a little bit of a streak of blood on Lauren Harrogate's bed sheets. And you guys have, let's just say we've just picked up the phone. You guys just discovered the phone. You've picked it up. It's this iPhone that belonged to Lauren. And who wants to have this in their hand?
Hold on, I have a... Maybe you already said this and I'm repeating something. When we saw the creature, because we called the Codex and gave a description of the creature, and he gave us the name of what it was at the end of the last episode.
Did you see an image of it? Did he pipe that back to you? I don't remember that part.
See, that's my last note, is it flew either into the room or overhead, like it was a big dramatic ending to the last, like that was the big climax of the last episode. We saw it, called the Codex, and the Codex, after describing it to it told us that it was a creature called a servitor, summoned from depths of space to perform some action, and that it was free to act on its own.
Yeah, summoned to perform the specific action of the summoner.
Yes.
Right, the Codex would have given you that. I don't think
Okay.
this thing did not come into the room, though.
It may not have come into the room,
Probably
but we definitely saw it well enough to describe it to the Codex. It also has smells of ammonia, lots of eyes, something about its blood that my notes are really scribbly about. I don't know how we would have seen its blood. Yeah. So I wanted to ask about that because that's my last note, and I didn't hear you say anything about it.
Yep. Well, let's take it from, let's say, Graham, you've picked up this phone. It's a iPhone. It's locked. And we'll continue our investigation from here. This being an active crime scene, or they're starting their investigation, the Glenridge PD has a photographer that's coming up the stairs, and he's taking pictures of stuff. So, Graham, do you want to actually officially make this cell phone evidence, or do you want to pocket it?
I'll pocket it.
Is the phone locked by Face ID or thumbprint?
Do you want to give me a luck roll?
Sure. I can't read that. Hold on a second.
51.
Oh, thank you.
51 would pass. It's a
Mhm.
thumbprint.
Oh, cool. That's great, because her body still has her hands.
Not her face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. With the phone, Gavin, Graham, do you want to do anything else in this house?
We're not going to roll luck.
You want to do a luck refresh?
That's what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, I figured we're right in the middle of this investigation, so I wasn't going to do it. But we can.
Okay. Well, I mean, mine's at 92, so we don't have to.
I think all of you guys have pretty high luck.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to burn yours a little bit more.
All right. So, yeah, I want to pocket this. And is there anything else in this scene that looks like it's something that would catch my eye? Or do we just need some personal time with this phone?
There's personal effects of Lauren Harrogate in her room, obviously. She's got a laptop. She's got pictures of like cheerleading squad and a bunch of her friends and band posters and things like that, but there's nothing really here that jumps out at you.
Okay.
Do you have any prescription medicine?
My notes said that there were.
My notes say that her mom had anti-anxiety or antidepressants, but I was wondering if maybe...
Yeah, it's just her mom, it's not Lauren.
Okay.
Hey guys, I think we should vacate the premise before the crime scene team starts cataloging in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sounds good.
All right, so let's meet you guys, you three, back up in your car, your blacked out FBI SUV.
Okay.
Sorry, it was a sedan.
We get to the car. I pull out the phone. So I grab this phone. I hand it to Stella. I'm guessing we need to get inside that and see who she's been talking to. Maybe she has some text messages or something in there that'll point us to whoever might have wanted to have this happen to her. Since we now know that this creature was summoned for a purpose and it's killing specific people, I'm guessing there's a common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
Are we supposed to meet the guy who does the autopsies? That's a long drive down there.
Why are we doing that?
Great question. I know we were going to meet him.
Yeah, we were going to do a bunch of stuff before this happened.
Oh, he's got the dead girl. He's got her body.
He couldn't have possibly made it all the way over there in the time it took us to drive over to the house.
All right, we go see if he's still back at the other crime scene then.
That was my original plan. Well, that was my original thought. Although, also, while that would work, can't Stella just open it?
I mean, yeah, I can try to hack it, but plan B, we gotta get to her thumb.
You want to try to hack it? You've got a computer skill?
I do.
You want to walk me through it and make a roll?
So I rolled a 6 out of 44. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna do some fancy work with tape and her thumbprint residual on the phone, and I'm able to get in that way.
Ah, it's so clever. Love that.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And surely in the back of this FBI vehicle, I've got something that can make a fake thumbprint.
Sure.
So we have unlimited access to it.
What is the... I can't remember what it is, but they make the thumbprint and then they put it on like one of those little finger condom things.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep pressing it, yeah. Yeah, your 6 is amazing. You can get into this phone, you get it unlocked, and it's definitely Lauren Harrigan's cell phone. The cell phone of a teenage girl is a special place. You see a bunch of photos of her and her friends, and there's tons of like tabbed websites. But you go back to messages, and her last message chain that she had up was last night, just before bed, and it's this one. Does everybody see it here on the map? I'll ping it. It says it's a Sprint cell phone. Who does this? Allie, why don't you take me through this and our listeners?
So she's texting her friend Madison about a boy who's not texted her back yet. But she's going to see him in lab tomorrow, and it's going to be super awkward. And then Madison says, but what if he hexes you or something? Which is kind of out of nowhere. And that's a conversation.
So this is a lead, right? You don't know what the boy's name is, but you've got a lead in a name of Madison. How many Madisons could there possibly be? And yeah, other
At
than
least
that,
4.
This phone has like normal teenage girl stuff in it. You go through the call logs too, and a lot of her calls are contact names, like that, people that are programmed into her phone. But she does have some missed calls yesterday from a local number that she doesn't have in her phone.
Well, I think the move here is to just call it back.
But not from her phone.
No. Well,
I don't think you want to call somebody from the dead girl's phone.
what if whoever we're calling doesn't know she's dead?
What if the police pull the phone records, which they are inevitably going to do?
Okay. Then you call it.
I mean, you can figure out who that phone number is, right? That's internet. You do the computer things.
I can figure out who it's registered to. Which is a start.
That is the start. How would you go about doing that?
I would probably send the number to Marge.
Solid idea.
For FBI agents, we could always use the federal database.
I do have this super fancy computer the FBI gave me.
And access to the local Glenridge PD systems. That's true.
So I guess I'll plug that number into their database.
Okay. Boop, 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 boop. The local number comes back as registered to a local Mark Dangler.
Dangler. That sounds like a porn star name.
Like Dirk Diggler.
That's what was immediately coming to mind, yeah.
Let's call it Dingler then.
Dangler.
Dingler?
And I'm gonna find out what I can about Mark Dingler.
What would you like to know?
Who is he? Where does he live? What does he do? How old is he?
Mark Dingler is a landowner here in Glen Ridge. He owns a home, which I'm trying to find on the map, and then I'll post it. He works for Northrop Grumman, local here, and he's got a wife and a son that goes to the local school.
How old is the son?
Tommy is 15.
How old was Lauren?
15.
Okay.
Oh, they'd be freshmen in high school. That's 15, right? 16? 15.
Yeah. Can this computer tell me anything else about Tommy?
Mr. Tommy Dangler, the kid, he has, so there'd be like a local newspaper article about him winning mathletes a couple years ago, and maybe it's something about like a robotics club after school that he's in.
Okay. Any photos of Tommy?
Sure. Here's Mr. Tommy. Get his little high school photo. And the Dangler house is here on the map. House. Tommy Dangler house, right here. Dengler.
Okay. Well, I'm torn.
About what?
I kind of want to go talk to this Madison about this boy. What if he hexes you?
Okay.
But also, why was I want to go talk to Tommy and find out why he was calling her so much.
These are good avenues to pursue what the original instructions sent to the servitor were. But from if what the Codex told us about the servitor is true and it can act on its own accord,
Yeah.
I'm torn between, maybe this does give us good information, so it should be considered, but also we have to take into consideration the fact that we need to know how to stop this thing, and he may not even know how to do that. But if we know how he summoned it, maybe that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. If we can if whoever's commanding it has a connection between all these victims. And if we can talk to them, maybe we can find out how to stop it.
Gavin, what do you think?
I mean, if Tommy Dingler, if he had braces, then he could. I think we should go talk to Thomas. I think learning how he. I'm pretty. I don't know, pretty sure, but I think he's connected to at least one of the persons. If he said he did mathletes, so maybe that's why he's mad at the librarian. And if he had braces, that's why he's mad at the doctor. Then he did something awkward with the girl, and now the girl has disappeared. I think he could be connected to everything. I think if we texted Madison and said, "Hey, you talking about Tommy?" But also, yeah, I think we should talk to Thomas. That's what I think.
Okay.
It is currently 8:30 on a Monday morning.
To the school.
To the school.
Let's go to high school.
With our FBI credentials, we should be able to get
Pull him out of any class.
yeah, get interviews.
I bet Madison's at that school too.
As long as we don't.
That's an excellent point.
As long as we don't imply that we're accusing them of a crime, should be okay.
You guys stop anywhere on the way, or are you just going straight to the high school?
To the school.
Excited to get to the school again. All right, so you guys pull up to the familiar school because you guys have been here before. But before, I think you guys had been here right around 10:30 at night, so the lights were on, but it was dark outside, and you guys had parked in like this loop out front and walked the sidewalk to the back, where that big oak tree was with Vanessa at Van and her body, where her body was. But you guys park this time, and the school is full of life. And you guys get out of the car and walk the sidewalk to the front doors of the school, where, because it's the United States, the school doors are locked. There's a doorbell with a camera on it, and you guys press that. And of course, somebody lets you in, and the door opens, and you guys get, you can walk inside the school, where there's a partitioned wall and a lady behind the counter. And she looks up and she sees your FBI lanyards. She furrows her brows and she says, "Good morning. Can I help you?"
Of course, yes, ma'am. This is Gavin Sharp. We're at the FBI. We are gathering evidence, and we need to get some information from a couple of students at this school.
Oh, gathering evidence for Miss Vanessa's case. And you need to talk to students. Hold on one second. And she grabs the phone and she puts it up to her ear and pushes a button. And then after a couple seconds, she says, "Yeah, there's some FBI agents out here asking about Mrs. Hatvan and oh, okay." And she hangs up the phone and she says, President Weathers, or sorry, Principal Weathers will be right out. And this larger, dark-skinned man walks out. He's very jovial. He's got a pretty big smile on his face, but you can see that it's kind of forced because he's a little nervous. And he comes around and opens the door for you guys and gets you guys into the main office proper. And he extends his hand out to you, Gavin, and he says, "Carl Weathers, principal. It's nice to meet you."
Yes, sir. Principal Weathers, right?
That's correct. Your name?
Yes, I'm Agent Gavin. These are my fellow associates.
Carl Weathers. He goes and shakes Stella's hand. Carl Weathers. He shakes Graham's hand. What brings you in? Can I offer you any coffee, tea, anything like that? I can bring us back to the conference room, where you can be a little bit more comfortable. So without really waiting for you guys, he takes you through the hallway in the back to a conference room, where he opens a door. There's a big table in there, and he ushers you guys inside. Do you need anything?
We would like use of the conference room, and we just need to do some background interviews with some people who may have been associated with some of the victims. They are not they're not in legal jeopardy or anything. They're not being charged with anything. We just are trying to do some background research.
I see, says Mr. Weathers. I don't mean to pry, but there was a rumor going around that that there might have been another one this morning.
I'm afraid I can't discuss that until the next of kin has been notified.
I understand. I completely. I get it. Do you need to see Mrs. Hatvan's employment file, or what kind of questions do you have, sir?
We are interested in interviewing a couple of the students, as well as I would like to look through any notes that Miss Hatvan would have.
Notes. Okay.
Just logs of classes, interactions, things like that.
Vanessa was a librarian. Didn't have any classes, but I can get what she had available to you. It'll take me a little bit.
Okay. I can go ahead and give you two of the students. Oh, actually, yeah. I will let my associate, Ms. Boudreaux, give you the names of the two students that we need.
Well, we'd like to talk to Thomas Dangler and Madison last name.
We have a couple Madisons here. I can...
was one of them best friends with Lauren Harrigan?
And in class with Tommy Dangler.
And in class with a freshman Madison.
Okay. That does narrow it down significantly. You must be talking about Madison Gallagher, or Madison Clark. They're the same person. She has just changed her last name because she was adopted. I will. I know she's here today. I'll go get her. And a Tommy Dangler. I know him. And Mrs. Hatvan's notes. Just a minute, please. And he'll leave to go and get these things. Do you guys need to discuss anything while he's gone?
I mean, we can tell the principal Lauren's dead.
We can, but I chose not to, because once we tell him that information, we can't take it back. Obviously, the next of kin is the mother who's in the room, and she saw everything.
Isn't her mom on her way to a psychiatric hold?
There is.
Yes.
Okay.
So all of that, set aside, because maybe we'll tell him later, but we don't have to right now. I don't want us to let on, especially to Tommy, that we know as much as we do. If we can do these interviews and get data without showing our cards all the way, as it were, I think that would be wise.
Okay.
Are we going to see them one at a time?
Of course.
So Carl Weathers comes back with a young woman She opens the door and Carl motions her inside, and she sits down at the conference room table with her hands clasped together and then kind of like in between her knees, a little nervous like. And she sheepishly kind of smiles. Hi, I'm Madison. You wanted to see me? Mr. Weathers is like, Madison, I'll be right out here. And he closes the door. He's standing outside.
Good morning, Madison. I'm Agent Eckhart with the FBI. First and foremost, you're not in any trouble. We just are trying to gather information about a picture around what's happened amongst some tragic events in town, and we think you might know something that could be helpful. So, we're going to ask you a series of questions, and just please answer honestly as to the best of your ability. Okay?
Okay. I can do that.
Can you tell me anything about either Vanessa Hatvan or Lauren Harrogate?
She kind of cocks her head a little bit. Mrs. Hatvan was the librarian here at the high school. She was really nice. People liked her because she had candy at her desk. I didn't have any problems with Mrs. Hatvan, if that's what you're asking. Lauren's my best friend. We talk about everything. We're in cheer together, and yeah. What do you want to know?
So you didn't have any problems with Miss Hatvan. Did Lauren have any interactions with Miss Hatvan?
Yeah, Miss Hatvan. People have like study hall and stuff in there, so everybody sees her throughout the week, and she can be nice, but she can also be kind of strict because you're in the library and there's library rules. So, I don't know. No, we didn't have any problems with her. Lauren and I are good students, I guess.
Okay. Like I said, no reason to be nervous. You're not in any trouble. What about, and I look down at my notes as though I have to flip through them. I'm trying to make it so that she thinks this is some trivial detail I have to look up. Tommy Dangler. Did he have any interactions with you, Lauren, or Mrs. Hatvan?
Her eyes get a little wide for pulling that name out, and she shakes her head no, and then looks down. Give me a psychology roll.
I have that as a skill.
Somebody could be a psychology roll. Or a psychoanalyst?
I'm going to spend... wait a minute. Let me check my... that's a pass. I got a 45 out of a 56.
Excellent.
You're asking me to psychoanalyze a teenage girl as a former teenage girl?
You have advantage.
Yeah.
Well, you should still roll it. Maybe you'll get a critical success and hit something I don't.
24.
For 49. Oh, I'll take it. It's gonna be okay, Madison.
So how does her advantage work? Because she used the automatic roller?
You can roll a 10s dice, see if it's better than a 2.
I don't think Allie understood what you meant when you said advantage. That's why I pointed it out.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Allie, if you roll a 10-sided dice, or this one with all of the 10 spaces on it.
I did. A 7.
Oh, okay. Roger. All right. So, she is a little embarrassed by this question. She's embarrassed for other people, though. She doesn't want to tell you Lauren's tea.
Madison, no matter what you say, it doesn't leave this room. You're not in trouble, Lauren's not in trouble. Tommy's not in trouble. We just need to know what you know.
Well, so Mrs. Tubb put me and Lauren at different tables this year because we couldn't be lab partners because I guess we were talking too much. So my lab partner is Matt and Lauren's lab partner is Tommy. And they've been lab partners for a couple of weeks now because we've been separated because Lauren and I talk to each other too much. But then Tommy and Lauren were actually getting along, I guess, at the lab, and they were dissecting stuff, and Tommy made a joke and Lauren laughed, and Tommy was like, maybe this is my shot. And so Tommy asked her out, and I think Lauren turned him down. I know that she turned him down, and she probably wasn't very nice about it.
I see. And Mrs. Tubb, this is your biology?
AP Bio, yeah,
Okay.
AP Bio teacher.
What did
But,
Lauren tell you about him asking her out?
Well, Tommy's just not Lauren's type. Lauren probably wasn't very nice about it, like I said, but I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened. But I can imagine that, Tommy probably didn't take it too well either. He's not here today, so he's probably upset.
Does Lauren have a history of not being nice to people that aren't her type?
No, she's not a mean girl, but Tommy's just not, I don't know, not her thing.
Okay.
Lauren's into the football guys.
And Tommy's not a football guy?
No, not at all. She laughs at that. No, Tommy's not a football guy. Tommy's more of a E&D guy.
Okay.
He and his friends talk about it all the time. So Lauren and I joked that he's a sorcerer or warlock or whatever the fuck they're called. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
That's no worries. You said Tommy's not here today?
No.
I know he's Lauren's lab partner, but did you have other classes with him? Would you consider him a friend?
I have homeroom with him, but not with Lauren. But we both have AP Bio with Tommy, and then I have PE with Lauren, but that's 6 block. And she goes through this nasty schedule of high school kids, so
Right.
she has Tommy in some of her classes.
And I know you're a cheerleader, and you said Tommy's not the jock type; he's the D&D type. But what do you think about him?
I don't know. He's okay. He's really good in history, really good, and he's got friends. But he's not going to go out on our Fridays and go to the games and stuff, so he's not going to ever be the football guy that Lauren wants.
Who are some of his friends?
Well, my lab partner Matt is Tommy's friend, and then there's I don't know, 4 or 5 of them that hang out together.
Okay. Have you noticed Lauren acting strangely?
No?
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 Did you see her yesterday?
Yeah. We had practice last night, and then I didn't get to talk to her, so I sent her some texts before bed, and She's not here today, so do you know what happened to her? Why she's not here?
I'm afraid I don't know why she's not here. I think that's all the questions I have for you, Madison.
I wouldn't mind having a few of those names of the friends that Tommy hangs out with from his group. Especially if they had any interactions with Lauren or Vanessa. But beyond that, I don't have any questions further for you, Madison. You've been as helpful as I expected you to be. Thank you very much.
No problem. Can I go now?
Yes.
Okay. And Madison will leave the room. Carl Weathers comes back in. He's got Vanessa Hadvan's notes, and then he goes, I apologize, but Thomas Dangler is not here today. His mom called him out this morning, said he had a root canal and he was recovering. So, yep, I apologize for that. I thought he was here, but I was informed that he is not here today. But here is Mrs. Hatvan's notes. If you guys need anything else, let me know.
Principal Weathers, would it be possible for us to interview Miss Tubb, your AP Bio teacher, as well?
Sure. She's got a class right now, but I think they break for lunch shortly.
That's okay.
So-
We'll need some
Well,
time
just-
because... Go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say, would you mind sitting with her class while we talk to her? But that's fine.
We need to
Right, we can do
review
that.
these notes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine. We'll wait.
Okay, cool. So Carl Weathers will leave you there with Hatvan's notes, and you go through them, and basically leading up to the time of her death, things were pretty normal. There is a name that comes up, though, on 2 days before she died. Vanessa Hatvan wrote a referral up for Tommy Dangler for having his phone out as a disruption in study hall.
I'd also like to point out that Principal Weathers just said that Tommy had a root canal.
I was trying to remember. What's his face? Is
Dentist.
an orthodontist or? Oh, he's a dentist. Okay.
I thought he was a dentist, but Dr. Carl Moretti, I thought was a dentist.
That's true.
This Tommy guy is linking these people together. So this Hatvan wrote him a referral. Lauren turned him down. The other victims
Possibly gave him something.
Yeah, I'm looking through. Third victim. Okay, we've actually covered all the victims I have in my notes now. And they all have a link to this kid. And we know that he didn't come into school today. So we could interview Miss Tubb and potentially get other people that they know. However, I'm thinking maybe at this point we would go to Tommy Dangler's home and attempt to interview him or his family.
I would agree with that, but I kind of want to interview the teacher just to get more of an insight into Tommy as a person, because if he is in fact the one doing all this manipulating, we need a good idea of who he is.
I agree. Is he like just a geeky kid, or is he like actively trying to kill these guys?
Yeah. Is he just like a geek who
Stumbled upon
is
something.
is in over his head, or is he like actively a psychopath who also happens to like D&D?
Okay. I agree. Let's go ahead and do that. I also wanted to. I was planning on approaching the interview with the assumption that he was the first, or at least the outward assumption that he is the first of those, someone who's in over his head and might need our help. Because if he is, he might just tell us everything we know up front, trying to get help.
Right.
If he isn't, we may still play that role and let some information slip we need while trying to figure out how to get rid of us.
Yeah. Are you trying to make a case for not interviewing this teacher, or?
No, I'm completely okay with interviewing. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I just think having the knowledge, whatever knowledge we can get about him, is going to be helpful in us deciding our approach. But I agree with you. I think we should approach our interview with him as if he is the first, and we believe wholeheartedly he is just a kid in over his head.
Gavin, you want to take lead on this interview and we'll back you up, or?
Yeah, I talked to the teacher lady.
Yeah, I think he'll
Or on that Southern charm.
yeah.
All right, so Mr. Weathers brings Mrs. Tubb, this AP Bio teacher. She's got long brown hair. She's wearing like a fleece jacket. And she comes in, she sits down, and she says, "Can I help you? I'm Miss Samantha Tubb."
Oh yes, Miss Tubb. Sorry to take your lunch away, but we had a couple of questions about a couple of the kids in your AP Bio class.
All right, shoot.
Can you tell us a little bit about Tommy Dangler?
Tommy. I've been teaching for 5 years, and the FBI comes and asks me about a student. It wouldn't have been Tommy. That's okay. Tommy, quiet, smart, wants to be funny, has bad timing. He's a good kid. Always gets pretty good grades, like a B student. I haven't had any problems with him.
He's taking AP Biology as a freshman, so he's like pretty advanced.
Yes, I've got an actual like really rigorous curriculum set up for these freshmen to get them in, because the schools, especially around New York, focus on a lot of science programs, biology being one of them. So I'd like to get them a really good head start while they've got a lot of of the spectrum to take in, biology is just one of them. We try to give them all the sciences. But yes, Tommy's a good student. Like I said, I've never had problems with him.
Does he get along with his we got notes here, it says he's got a new lab partner. Is he doing well with the young lady?
Lauren, yeah. It's weird that you've got those notes, but yeah, Tommy gets along with Lauren. I think Lauren, she's a bright one too. I've never had any. Well, so I had to separate Lauren and her friend Madison because they were causing disruptions in the class one day, just laughing about some cheerleader squad stuff. But I've got them separated now, and they're working better, isolated from each other. But yeah, Lauren and Tommy, they're doing fine.
Oh, did you hear that Tommy got a referral a couple of days ago?
No, but that's not uncommon that I wouldn't hear about every referral that every student gets.
But also not surprising, like referrals, it's a pretty big deal.
It depends on what was going on, but it doesn't surprise me either that Tommy got a referral. He can, like I said, he tries to be funny and has bad timing, so if it was something like that, I could see why he'd get written up.
Thanks so much. I mean, you've been very helpful. Again, we don't want to take up too much of your lunchtime. You guys got any other questions for her?
I just have a couple, and I'm very sorry to ask about this. Were you close with Miss Hatfam?
Vanessa and I were very close. We would have like wine tastings and things like that. She was very sweet.
Do you recall, did she have any problems with any students?
No, nothing. No problems with any students that I know of.
Did she have any interactions that you know of as her friend with Dr. Carl Moretti?
He's the dentist here in town. She might have seen him, but I don't know.
But nothing beyond regular, like being a dentist patient.
She kind of looks at you. Weird. You get like a sense that she's trying to like read into this question. No, from what I understand, I don't think so. I don't think so. I may have seen Mr. Moretti at her house one time, but I don't think they had a lasting relationship.
Thank you.
What about Tommy's friends? Would you consider any of them problem students?
Tommy has Tommy has a couple friends. There's a student in my class, his name is Matt. He is a problem. I don't know what's wrong with him.
How is he? What do you mean? How's he a problem?
Just disruptive. Complete D student. Very little motivation.
So
Work
kind of
ethic,
like
awful.
Lauren and Madison in one student.
You could say that, but
Gotcha.
no, Lauren and Madison are not bad students at all. They just like to talk to each other. They're good friends. Sometimes you have to just separate that out in your class.
Yeah, I get that. I was that student.
That Matt though, awful.
I see. So Matt's not a goof. Matt's. How would you describe Matt?
Just a layabout. I think I'm gonna fail him. This is AP Bio. He shouldn't be here.
Okay. Do you think Matt might have a lot of influence over Tommy?
I could see. I don't know. There might be some. There might be some trade off between the two of them, but really, I think Tommy's got a good head on his shoulders. He loves history. When I can get him to pay attention to biology, he gets good grades. But you have to find an interest. You know, he has to find an interest in it.
Sure.
It can't all just be, South American history.
So you're familiar with Tommy's interest in history, then?
Oh yes, yeah. He's a big history buff. He walks around with, I think he's on like, oh, what was the book? It was something about the last days of the Incan Empire, I think is what it was called. That's what he's been reading lately, and he'd rather read that than study AP Bio sometimes.
So I know this is October and Tommy's a freshman. Has he always had this special interest in South American history, as far as you can tell?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. So this isn't something that just started last week.
Oh no.
Okay. it's been a long time since I was in high school. South American history isn't part of the curriculum for freshmen, right?
Not usually, no. They try to get a lot of the indigenous tribes kind of done in middle school. So in high school, we can focus on more focused studies.
Gotcha. Who is the freshman history teacher?
That's Mr. Meters.
Do you know, is he particularly close to Tommy?
I think probably. I wouldn't actually, like, it's not like they have lunch together or anything.
Right. Okay. Are there any teachers that you could identify as being close to Tommy?
No.
Okay. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you.
I have no further questions. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Gavin, how are you?
I'm doing good. Oh,
How are you?
yeah. How you doing? Sorry. You better get to your lunch. I think you've been very helpful.
Okay, thank you. If you need anything, give me a shout. And she'll get up from the table and leave.
As soon as she's out the door, I'm like, last days of the Incan Empire.
Yeah, right? Also, way too cute to be a freshman biology teacher.
Oh, Mrs. Tubb?
Yeah.
I've used her
I was about to say, that's a Delta Green character. I immediately was like, can you build me a thing?
I like her. She's cute.
Yeah, I like her, and I like the other one that I've got. For her name right now is Sarah Poole, but I'm gonna reuse her a bunch.
Aw, she was a broken egg.
Yeah, I like generating people's faces and then just be like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're a keeper.
I should reuse more of the just NPCs that come in and out. That's something I should do more of.
It'd be so weird, like, if you were watching it on a TV show, right? And, like, an actor pops up, but it's got a different character. And you're like, wait a second, I saw him in season 2. But now
fans
he's...
of American Horror Story would tell you, absolutely not weird. We actually like it.
Also, in Star Trek, they do that often.
They do that?
Yeah, especially if they'll be like, oh, we'll make him an alien, add one little, like, tidbit to his face and be like, that species has this on their face, and you're like, no, it's blatantly the same person.
Nice. Okay, cool. So we got a Star Trek casting thing going on here.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I think we've exhausted this avenue of inquiry, and every additional piece of information to me points more at Tommy.
Yeah, I think we need to... I kind of would like to talk to Tommy's mom and dad before we talk to Tommy, but...
I don't think there's going to be any getting around that.
Well, yeah, but I'd like to talk to them...
privately.
Without Tommy.
Yes, that makes sense.
Does Tommy have siblings? I should have asked that already.
As far as the school knows, no.
Okay.
We would have access to the Office of Vital Statistics. We could look that up.
Does my supercomputer know if Tommy has siblings? Like, does he have a sibling who's above 18?
He does not.
Ah, okay. Alright.
Why above 18?
Because we can question them without the parents present. We're very quickly getting away from that. They're not in any trouble.
Yeah, but as warehouse agents, we don't intend to charge him with a crime, even if we find out he's done anything. I'm going
But we're
off the
masquerading as FBI
yes,
agents.
but I'm going by the premise that and this is a little metagame, but Kizik and I during the Delta Green fiascos always basically said we are not in the business of enforcing the law. So we would never try to arrest someone unless there was some advantageous way, like unless there was some way it would further our taking down of the technology or the cryptid or the thing that had threatened, the world. And I was kind of sticking to that same operating procedure here. But I also understand what you're saying. Like, the pretense might be that they feel like we're going to charge them with something, but we're not.
Okay.
Charge up that Tesla gun.
Yeah, I might use the Tesla gun, although that would be an extreme scenario. But truthfully, and that's a valid point, like if I feel like we have to interview Tommy and parents get in the way, parents might get Tesla'd and shoved in a closet, because we're not here to enforce or obey the law.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you know we have to interview Tommy.
Yes, I agree.
With or without his parents.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't at school, so you guys are going to get into your car and you're
To the
going to
Tommy
drive
Dingler home.
to the Tommy Dengler home. This house is still a nice house. It's on like a canal, which is cool. So it's got some water access. They've got a boat with a lift out back. And the house is pretty nice, especially for this neighborhood. And you remember back where Mark Dengler, the homeowner, works for Northrop Grumman. And you go up and you knock on the door, and a lady answers, and she says, hello? It's this woman here. You might...
Mark Dengler?
Mark Dengler's wife, Eloise.
Mrs. Dengler, is your husband home?
No, he's at work. Who are you?
Well, I'm Agent Boudreaux with the FBI, and these are my associates, Agent Eckhart and Agent Sharp. We'd like to talk to you and your husband.
Oh.
And your son, Thomas.
I'll have to call his office and have Mark come home.
You do that.
Sure thing. Would you like to come inside?
Please.
Absolutely. She opens the door wider for you. Would you like to have anything to drink, or have tea or coffee, Fanta?
I'm okay, fellas.
No, thank you.
Oh, nothing for me, thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna go get the phone.
Is everything okay, Miss Dengler? You seem very nervous.
Well, the FBI showed up at my house, and they want to talk to me, my husband, and my son. So, I'm sorry. I'm just a little nervous.
That's understandable, Mrs. Dengler, and we apologize. You're not in any trouble. These are just some routine questions. But we'd love to talk to you and your husband.
Let me call him. I'll try to get him on the phone. So she pulls out her phone and dials a number. And while she's on the phone and it's ringing, you guys look around the house for a little bit. And she's got you guys in like her living den area of the house. So there's a couple couches, there's a nice TV, there's bookshelves and stuff like that, and there's pictures on the wall of the family. And it's a family of three. It's Mark, the dad, Eloise, and Tommy. And it's Tommy, growing up, he was in the Cub Scouts. You see his Mathlete's trophy, on one of the bookcases. And you don't see anything like ornately Southern, like, Peruvian or Incan or any of that stuff. So there's nothing like just dripping off the walls at you guys.
Nothing to suggest one of the parents has South American heritage?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Is there a backpack by the front door?
There is not. But
Some
there
of the
is
kids
noise.
today carry backpacks.
Mine do. There is noise coming from upstairs, Kizik, so you can hear there is another person in the house upstairs. She comes back. She's off the phone, and she says, "I left a message for Mark, and he could get it and come home. So, is there anything that I could maybe answer, or I could get Tom, and Tommy could come down, and we could answer questions together? There's no reason to have you guys just hanging out all day here for Mark to get home."
I think we can probably ask you a few of the questions to get started, and perhaps, depending on how this goes, we could even finish up our interviews before your husband gets home.
We still will have questions for him. He won't be wasting his time coming down here, obviously.
Okay.
So, have you ever met Dr. Carl Moretti?
Of course. Yeah.
Can you elaborate, please?
Oh, sorry. He's the family dentist. He sees me, or saw me, and Tommy and Mark before he passed away.
I understand Tommy recently had a root canal. Was that Dr. Moretti?
In January, Moretti started a root canal on Tommy, and there was something that he didn't see in the X-ray. He had stopped the root canal like mid-procedure. So Tommy just went back to Moretti's second. There's a doctor still at Moretti's office that's taken over some cases. So Tommy's recovering. He just went yesterday.
I see. He's still recovering. So that's why you kept him out today.
Yeah, the painkillers have him all
Sure.
loopy.
Is Tommy upset about Dr. Carl Moretti's performance of that procedure?
I think, yeah, a little bit. There was a lot of pain that, I don't think Tommy really understands what goes into dentistry, and Moretti really didn't explain too much. He just said that he wasn't able to complete the root canal, which really it left Tommy in a fair amount of pain for quite a while, like until yesterday when we got it all fixed. He's been in pain since January.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's been awful for him.
Do you have access to any literature or artifacts of a South American historical origin?
Why? She kind of smiled and laughed, and then sees that you've got a very serious look on your face, and she gets very serious. Why would you ask me that particular question?
It could be related to something we're looking at.
She stands up from the couch and walks over to one of the bookshelves and grabs a pictured, a framed picture off of it. She stares at it for a second and then turns it around. And the family of 3 is standing there next to an old man in a wheelchair. And the man's probably in his 90s in the photo. And in the photo, Tommy's probably only 8 or 9. And Eloise says, this is my father, Derek. He was an explorer during his time. Could you believe it? And yeah, he went all over South America as an explorer. But I don't have anything of his. She gets this far off look on her face, and she goes, "I don't, but Tommy does."
What does Tommy have?
Well, when my father died, he left a travel case for Tommy. Old costumes, and not costumes. I guess it's real clothing, but travelers' garments and things like that. I didn't look too close, but I think Tommy has it up in his room.
When did your father pass away?
2 years ago.
And I'm sorry to go back to the previous subject, but talking about Tommy being in pain, was he out of school a lot for that?
We pulled him out of school for the 2 days in January, and then just the 2 days, today and yesterday.
Oh, okay. Was he close to your father?
No, my father was a very aloof person. I didn't see him much when I was growing up either, but when he died, it took a little while for his estate to go through, what is it called, probate? He didn't have a will, and things just kind of trickled down, so we just cleared the last of his estate just this past Christmas. And that's when Tommy got his chest, and we got a little bit of an inheritance.
Have you noticed Tommy becoming more interested in the chest or your father's work?
I suppose I thought it was I think it's normal to read books and
Sure.
have interests as a teenager. So, sure, yeah. There's been some new interest in things from Tommy.
What? Some new interests, like what?
I guess Mesoamerican tribes and historical research from the areas of South America. I'm not too interested in it myself, but I'm sure you could ask Tommy.
Okay. Any other new interests you've noticed with Tommy? Or any other changes?
And he's a teenage boy. There's some changes here and there, but I think he saw a girl that he likes. He was talking to me about maybe asking her out. I don't know how that's gonna go, but here's hoping. And she crosses her fingers.
Sure, but nothing concerning to you as his mom.
No, concerning? No. He's a sweet boy. Pretty smart.
So, Doctor, sorry, was it Moretti?
So, which one? The very first one?
Yeah, the
Moretti.
dentist.
Yes.
So, he's your family dentist, and obviously, personal history aside, did Tommy seem especially upset about his death?
No.
What about Mrs. Hatvan?
Oh, the lady from the school.
Yes.
No. Tommy, I don't think was very close to her.
And freshman year, Tommy's a freshman. Has he been adapting well to high school?
Yes, I think so.
That's
He's
good.
got a good friend group, except that one Matt. But I don't really want to talk about him. I've got high hopes.
This is a safe space. What bothers you about Matt?
It's just, I've never met his parents. I don't think they exist.
Oh.
They let him run around and do whatever he wants. He's a vagabond. He comes over and eats all of our food. I've told Tommy not to let Matt into the house anymore, but he does, and then Matt comes through here like a raccoon and just eats everything, leaves doors open.
Is this Matt a new friend?
No. Tommy and Matt have known each other for a long time.
How long?
Oh, since primary school.
And he's always acted this way?
Matt, yes.
Okay.
I'm just kidding about his parents not existing. I haven't seen them.
I feel like all teenage boys have that one friend, right?
I believe so, yes. Do you want me to bring Tommy down if you have any questions for him?
Gavin, do you have any additional questions before we interview Tommy?
I had drank a lot of coffee back at the place we was here before then. My tummy hurts a little bit. You guys got a bathroom I could use for a second?
Absolutely. It's just upstairs. It's right next to Tommy's bedroom.
You can call him down if you want. Sorry.
Sure. Yep. I'm gonna actually. She walks up the stairs and she'll take you with her. She'll point out the bathroom door, and then she'll go into Tommy's room and wake him up. He's in bed. And she kind of wakes him up by shaking him. And she says, "We have some guests downstairs. I need you to get dressed and come downstairs as soon as you can, okay?" And then you hear him, "Okay, Mom." And she walks past you, and she says, "There's extra toilet paper under the sink if you need it, and there's spray right there. Okay, good luck." She walks back down the stairs and leaves you up there in the bathroom. If you wait a little bit, after a couple moments, you'll hear Tommy shuffle by and head down the stairs as well.
So while they're doing all that, Graham,
Yes.
we're still on board. We're gonna approach this as if...
Yes, my plan is to talk to
Tommy's
him.
a 15-year-old boy who just had a completed root canal after 9 months of pain.
Yeah, we're gonna see if he even knows that he's done this. And if he does, or figures out that he has done it, that he is in need of help. But I am also not above if we're stuck and not making process. I'm not above pulling out the Lauren's dead line and seeing how he reacts to that.
But we're on the same page going in.
Yes, absolutely. You want to lead it, or do you want me to do it?
Well, did she say yes?
I'm still thinking. I said and then didn't give an answer.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pressure you into it because Tommy walks downstairs with a hoodie, in a disheveled hair style, and he shuffles over to the den. It's a large, baggy, green. I'm sorry, it's more like a yellow hoodie, and it's got like this weird print on the front that almost looks like a crown, like a golden king's crown.
Thank God you changed the color. I would have felt called out.
So it's a very, like yellowish, greenish, but more yellow kind of hoodie. Anyway, so he's got like a basketball shorts on, and he's wearing slides. So he's like sliding, flip-flopping over.
Not picking up his feet.
Not picking up his heels because he's a 15-year-old kid. And as he comes up, you can see he's got like this swelling on the right side of his lower jaw, and it's pretty big, golf ball size. And he says, "I'm Tommy."
Hi, Tommy. I'm so sorry to disturb you. I understand you're in a lot of pain today.
It's less pain than yesterday.
Would an ice pack help? We've got a couple questions to ask you, and it seems like you're having some trouble right now.
Oh, yeah. Mom, can I have an ice pack? And Eloise is like, oh, yes. Yeah, sure. Anything else? And some Fanta. Sure, babe. Okay. And she goes and gets an ice pack and some Fanta. And
Fanta.
Brings it back for Tommy. And Tommy's sits up on the couch in front of you guys.
I'm going to lean into Eloise and say, Miss Dengler, we actually have to ask Thomas some questions about his personal relationships with some people, and he may feel more comfortable if his mother isn't in the room. When we do that, would it be okay if we could talk to him alone? He's not in any trouble.
She looks to Tommy, and Tommy shrugs at her, and Eloise is like, I'll be right in the kitchen, Tommy. And Tommy's like, sure, Mom, okay. So Eloise goes and busies herself in the kitchen. And Tommy looks at you guys expectantly, taking a big draw on his Fanta. But let's change scenes real quick. So Kizik.
With his ninja move.
Yeah, Gavin up the stairs in the bathroom. What are you doing?
I am waiting for the stairs to clear, and then I am going to sneak into his room.
Give me a stealth roll.
Poop ninja.
Poop ninja.
Poop ninja, 83 out of 92.
That's
You have a 92 stealth.
Yeah, I'm stealthy.
My stealth's pretty high. Well, actually, no, I don't know if it is on this.
I exist to glow through the swamp and sneak up on things.
Gavin is merely a shadow.
I was born to the darkness.
With a suggestion of a drawl.
So you sneak into his room. You know, you're like, as you're walking, this is an older house with wood floors. You can kind of expect them to creak a little bit. But you're old head at this, man. You've been sneaking so long, especially on wooden planks. So Yeah, you sneak across and into this teenage boy's bedroom, which it's messy. It has an odor. We're not going to go into it very much,
Bless you.
We all know what it
but
smells.
yeah, we can imagine. If we can't imagine, we've lived it at some point in our lives. So
I beg your pardon.
the three of us have, and you can imagine it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So there's posters up on his wall, like rappers of various age groups and styles. He's got a computer on a desk that has, headphones and stuff. He's been online gaming. There's a small closet with, like, the bifold doors. And,
What games does he play?
like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Fortnite, Body Cam. What's the other one? Doom. Those are the kind of games he plays.
I was rooting for you, Tommy.
What? Sorry, it's Baldur's Gate, Sims.
Oh, no. Don't pander to me.
Nah, he's a D&D nerd though. He would have
Yeah.
more than just shooters.
Baldur's Gate's a good one for a D&D nerd.
Yeah, it's a good game. Kizik, what are you doing up here?
I'm gonna look for that book that he's got that he loves a lot, and I'm gonna look for a chest of Peruvian clues.
All right, give me a spot hidden.
That's a 78 pass.
So the book, The Last Days of the Incas, is on his bedside table.
Is
And
it upside down? So there's like, I know exactly which page he was looking at.
yeah, he would have a bookmark, or it would be butterfly folded to the page. It's The Last Days of the Incas by Kim McQuarrie. He is pretty deep into the book, and most of the book is dog-eared. He hadn't tabbed it, but it's a well-worn, loved book.
There's some water damage, like he was reading it in the bath.
Yeah, probably little fingerprint marks.
Sure.
No 15-year-old boy gonna take a bath.
Valid.
What?
So this book is it's about this conquistador, Francisco Pizarro, when he led a force of 167 men in 1532 to the shores of Peru. And the Inca rulers of Peru had just fought this bloody civil war. So this new emperor had just defeated his brother, and the conquistador Pizarro and his men clashed with this new emperor and all of his, like, badass Inca warriors that had just, came through a civil war. So, like, the conquistadors really, they prevailed only because of their horses, their steel armor, and their swords. They got that new Incan emperor, like, captured him and imprisoned him. They ransomed him, got paid, and then killed him anyway. So,
Alright, what was the year?
this is 1532.
We just actually watched that episode of Expedition Unknown, Allie.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Well, don't tell me that.
I'm familiar with all of that.
Okay.
So anyway, there was like this 36-year long guerrilla war between the Spanish conquistadors and the Incan warriors, and this book is a lot about that. But so you check that book out. It's loved and dog-eared. It's on his side table. And then you check the closet, Gavin, and underneath a pile of clothes, there's this massive leather old travel chest, like travel luggage from the 1930s.
I look for a latch to open it up.
Yeah, it's got one of those little latch clasps on the front, and you can flip that up, open the top, and inside there's this old moth-eaten leather jacket, very like Indiana Jones, 1930s. There's also a fedora, and underneath the fedora is a book that's about 8 inches by 5 inches. It's tiny. It's handwritten in like a journal. The script in it is very, very tiny, and if you'd like to read it, you'll probably have to do it at a different time if you want to take this thing with you. But the front page says that it is the travel and adventures of Derek Wheeler.
Oh, God.
Right next to the book is a long 2-inch by 8-inch box. Looks like one that you would put like a necklace in. And if you open that, the interior is like a suede fabric, and there's nothing inside.
No necklace inside?
No.
All right. I quickly look around. I put a book in my pocket, and I sneak back into the toilet.
Downstairs, you guys are questioning Thomas Dangler. Who's taking the lead on that?
It's up to you, Allie.
You go ahead.
So, Tommy, I have a few questions I need to ask you. First off, let's say hypothetically, you were having some sort of very abnormal difficulty right now. We could help you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. We'll continue on with the interview. But if you are, we can make things move here a lot faster. If you are hypothetically in need of help, you could talk to us about it. And this is, as my associate said earlier, a safe space, so you can tell us anything.
I don't really know what you mean. Can you give me a psychology roll?
Yes, please. I was going to ask if you didn't ask. Ooh, I rolled a 2, and my psychology is a 56, so that is a extreme success.
Super duper success.
Yeah,
You
right.
Oh my God, Tommy loves us.
Tommy is not really understanding where you're coming from.
Okay.
He said that he's going through a hard time, and he kind of associated that with maybe the pain in his mouth more than anything else. So,
Okay.
but he's not doing like
He didn't immediately jump to, oh my God, I summoned a demon and I need to I need
Yes,
to do
correct.
something about it. Okay. That's really
he
what I'm
didn't
looking
jump
for. Okay. Okay. All right, Tommy. That was just, taking a hit in the dark. Because, some stuff has been happening around town. And we'd like to ask you some questions about, what's been going on and the people that it's been happening to. I'd like to start with Dr. Carl Moretti, and I'd like you to tell me about him and your interactions with him.
When Moretti was my dentist, and I've been going to him since I was a kid. But he kind of like fucked. He like looks over at the kitchen where his mom was. He messed up my root canal, and he said that there's something that he couldn't see on the X-ray, and he told me that I had to come back, and we scheduled another one like for the next week. But then he died, and now I had to wait until I could go see the new doctor, and it's been like awful.
Yeah.
So like it sucks.
Did you, at any point in time, wish Mr. Moretti harm? Wish, perhaps, that something would happen to him?
I mean, no. Like I was mad about it, but I'm dead, and like he died. I feel bad about that.
Okay. Let's talk about Miss Hatvan, the lady from the school. I understand she was the librarian. How did you get along with her?
He like glances back up at the kitchen door to see if his mom's there. She's okay. She's nice. And she told me where books were, you know. I had study hall in there. She was I didn't know her very much.
You never had any negative interactions with her?
He like looks left and right. No.
This is a safe space. You can tell me things. We're not going to tell your mother.
Yeah, whatever. We need. Honesty is what we're looking for. It does not have to leave this room.
Okay. She gave me a referral a couple weeks back for having my phone out, and you know, like it's it's stupid because other people have their phones out, and Miss Advan just said that it was me with my phone out, so she gave me the referral, and then I had in-school suspension because I told her she was a B-bird, and oh man, like I shouldn't have done that though. Like she didn't deserve that.
Tommy, did you at any point in time wish harm to Miss Hatvan?
Oh no, I wouldn't.
I didn't say
I
you
wouldn't want her-
did anything.
No, I don't want her to get hurt.
Okay.
But you were pretty annoyed with that referral, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tommy, let's talk about Lauren Harrogate.
What about her?
What kind of interactions have you had recently with Lauren?
None.
I
It's really defensive. I asked her out, okay, and she said no. And apparently she thought it was pretty funny, and I guess we're not going to be friends anymore, which sucks because I like to be in her friend and lab partner, and when I made her laugh, she did a really pretty smile, and we're not going to be friends anymore though.
And that upsets you, I imagine, quite a bit. That would be quite normal.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess so.
Tommy, you've been reading some very interesting literature according to your teachers at school. Old stuff about the Incan Empire. You seem very, very knowledgeable about it, and that you've done quite a bit of research. Tell me about your interest in the Incan Empire.
What? Like my granddad was like Indiana Jones, and maybe one day I can be like him, and find stuff that no one else has.
Have you found anything that nobody else has?
No,
No?
I've been
Well, I mean, in
No.
theory, you don't have to physically go there to put pieces of the puzzle together. Or did your grandfather leave you anything that could have been something like that?
give me a spot hidden.
Can I give him a bonus by going bzz, bzz, missing necklace?
Probably should have done that earlier, but yes.
Yeah, you can. This makes it like a no roll. It's like you didn't even have to roll for it if he texts you, "Hey, looking for a missing necklace." Tommy reaches up, and underneath his hoodie, he touches. Not like he's not reaching his hand under his hoodie. His hand is above his hoodie or in front of his hoodie, but underneath his hoodie and next to his chest, he touches a necklace. You see the outline of an amulet that's about 2 inches. It's kind of hard to tell underneath the hoodie, but yeah.
Tommy, I don't think that you really intend anyone harm, but I will say that you keep lying to us, and that's putting people in harm's way. So I'd really like you to be honest with me when I ask you, is there anything that your grandfather left you that is of an Incan nature?
Yeah.
And when you get angry at people and you have this artifact, those people have, in recent history, died?
What? No. No psychology roll needed on this one. He never made that connection before. He doesn't think that that's true. It's just a cool necklace. My grandfather left it for me.
Tommy, let me stop you there. We specialize in this. There are things beyond the normal that are in this world. Lauren is dead. Everyone that you've been upset with while you've had that amulet on is dead. It is because of that artifact. And if you want to stop this from happening anymore, the safest thing to do would be to give us that amulet and any notes you have about its use and origin.
Oh, the kid rolls. Oh, that's a bad roll. What the hell? Hold on.
Well, he is on painkillers.
Yeah. Let's see if he rolls the sanity check correctly.
I mean, if he breaks, I'm just going to Tesla him.
Right. Starts hyperventilating. Tommy, he's like, no, I didn't have anything to do with that. No. And then his mom, from the other room, she's like, Tommy, are you okay? And she's gonna come around the corner of the kitchen back into the living room. Tommy? And he's like, no, Mom, no, this is not, no. And he like sits down on the couch. Tommy, are you okay? And she goes and sits next to him. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. She's like comforting him a little bit. What's going on? And she looks at you very confused.
I'm not going to elaborate. I'm going to give him a minute to potentially compose himself, but if he doesn't, we're probably going to have to go to plan B.
Can I try to distract him?
Sure, what do you want to try to do?
I just want to ask him what he was up to last night. Does he remember anything about what he did last night? Was he?
I was playing games with the boys. I didn't have school, so I stayed up real late. I didn't go to bed until like 2:30. I was here though all night. I didn't do anything. I didn't do nothing. And his mom, Eloise, is, yeah, you didn't do anything, baby. It's okay. It's okay. And she's like holding him. Gavin, do you want to come down the stairs now? When do you want to break into this scene?
Yeah, I can come down the stairs now. I remember to flush. I take a little piece of toilet paper, stick it underneath of my shoe, really selling it, and I'm gonna start coming down the stairs.
You wash your hands?
Shoot. No, I didn't.
Turns around, goes back up.
What are you talking about? He's a fisherman. He doesn't wash his hands.
Oh, he didn't wash his hands.
Best case scenario, he gets some of that orange goop and rubs it on his hands.
I see everybody looking at me. I go back in to wash my hands. I turn the water on, and I count to 20, and I turn the water back off.
Wow. Wow. Gavin Sharp, everybody.
Didn't actually poop either.
I don't really have to wash my hands.
Wouldn't kill you to sing the ABCs once, though.
I made it all the way to 20. It's close enough.
He's got an Irish Spring bar soap here.
Ew.
Oh my goodness, it's a bar of soap right beside it.
Yeah, it's a teenage boy's bathroom.
That would mean Axe body wash.
He's got the spray too. He's definitely got spray.
It's just a bottle of Purell.
Alright, so the three of you have now joined back up in the living room. We've got Eloise, the mom, kind of like coddling her son. And
Allie's trying to re-anchor him back to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And your question, Allie, I'm sorry?
I asked him what he did last night.
Right. Just stayed up real late and then I went to bed.
You played games with your friends.
Yeah.
Which friends?
Matt and Steve.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody share your interest in South American history? Like Matt or your dad?
No, Matt will listen a little bit, but he doesn't really care. And my dad won't talk to me. He's working all the time.
What do you know about what your dad does for work?
He works for Northrop Grumman. He makes, I don't know, prototype airplane stuff. Eloise is like, he is into aeronautics research. He runs the lab out there.
Cool. Tommy, if you could spend the weekend with any cryptid, I don't know, have we gotten Gavin back?
Yeah, Gavin's here.
Okay.
Yeah, walk down the stairs.
Gavin, you got any questions for Tommy while we wait for Mark?
I mean, Tommy, you doing okay over there?
No. He just said that I killed Miss Hatvan and Dr. Moretti
I don't
and
think that
Lauren.
I don't think that you
That's
killed. I don't think you've killed anyone, Thomas. I didn't say that. I said you have a dangerous object, and that dangerous object could be related to bad things that are happening to people. And for your own safety and those of the people around you, you should hand that object over.
When did you start wearing that amulet?
What dangerous object? What amulet? Eloise says, and Tommy goes, "No, Mom, it's the necklace that Grandpa gave me." And Eloise is like, "That old, like, clay thing? Tommy, you're not wearing that, are you?" And Tommy's like, "It's cool, Mom. It's really old and cool." Eloise is like, "Tommy, you need to take that off. You need to take that off now. If that's what these are FBI agents, Tommy. They know things. They say that you're involved. You're gonna have to give it here, Tommy." "No, Mom, no." "Tommy, hand me the necklace now." And then
We
you
Tesla
guys
the both of them.
you Tesla both of them?
I won't make that decision for the group.
Plus, I'm the only one with a Tesla, I think.
Oh. Okay. Well, Tommy's young. A rap on the head won't kill him.
I'm waiting to see if the bad thing swoops in and kills his mom right in front of him.
Oh, good point. Let's get his mom out of the room.
I was gonna say let's not stand on the line of fire. All right, what kind of windows are around here?
What's the
Yeah,
window
there's-
situation?
There's some windows around. This being the kitchen, it's pretty open, and who wouldn't build a house on the water without a bunch of fucking windows?
Right?
It's 11:30ish
In the
now?
morning.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
morning.
And most of these have happened at 2 or 3 at night.
So, long story short, Tommy will not like this at all, but he will take the necklace off, and it's you see, like it's like this beaded thing with multiple strands of beads. He unties it from the back of his neck and lifts it up. It's an amulet. Hold on, I've got a picture of it. I'll show it to you. This talisman is on this. It's a leather thong with beads on it, and
Thong. Damn. This is gonna smell bad, isn't it?
sorry, it's a leather rope. Here, about that. And Eloise is like, "Oh, the thing is so ugly. I can't believe you put that on your skin, Tommy." And Tommy's like, "Grandpa left it to me. It's really cool, and it's probably real." And
Real ugly.
Eloise goes, "Nothing that my father found was real, Tommy. He spent his life wasting away, hunting for treasures that just didn't exist." And Tommy's like, "No, that's not true. He was a good explorer." And Eloise is like, "Tommy, that thing has got to go. You cannot
I hold
keep
out
this necklace."
I hold out one of our evidence bags open so that if Eloise wants to, she could just drop the necklace in. But specifically, I want to point out, I'm not touching it.
EOTTOGO. That thing has got to go. Sorry.
I love it. Tommy will put the amulet in the bag. He struggles, though. Not quite like Frodo with the ring, but
Tell you what, Tommy, if it turns out that we're wrong about this, I doubt we are, but if it turns out we're wrong, I'll bring it back myself.
okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, do you have your friend Matt's cell phone number?
Yeah.
Can I have that, please?
Why?
I just want to ask him some questions.
Okay. I'll give it to you.
Thank you. Tommy, I hope you feel better.
What's the ETA on the dad? My God.
I mean,
Yeah, you haven't heard back from him yet.
I don't think we need him. Also, if he's working at a top secret facility,
He's being questioned by his wife and son are being questioned by the FBI. Surely they can find a way to get that message to him.
They probably could.
Also,
So-
he's working at the base that the flight patterns seem to correlate to. So shouldn't we at least act like we're investigating it?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I mean, I
But we
just
can put Tommy to bed. He seems like he's
exactly. I want to get him settled back in. I want to pull some. Maybe this is radioactive story with Eloise, to get her shuffled on, and I want to. I mean, this Matt guy has been mentioned an abnormal number of times for any investigation. Could very well be a red herring, but I feel like we owe that at least a cursory investigation as well.
Hey, Tommy, does that necklace come in a box?
Yeah, it did come in a box, yeah.
We're gonna need that for evidence too.
Okay, I'll go get it.
I cock an eyebrow at Gavin for that, but I don't say anything.
He shuffles upstairs. And, with his slides clapping up the stairs.
Thanks, Thomas. And I hold out the bag for him to put the box in.
Mom, the book's gone. He comes back downstairs with the box and puts it in the bag. Grandpa's book was in that box. It's not in there anymore.
I mouth, "You dumb ass," to Gavin.
Eloise, she's like, Tommy, I'm sure it's somewhere in that mess of a room. And Thomas is like, I put it back the last time I had it. And Eloise goes, Tommy, I'm gonna get him upstairs and back to bed. Do you need anything else from us?
Tommy, what you might really enjoy are some books on the Roman Empire.
The Romans, like the last Forgotten Legion?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Matt's into that stuff.
Well, give it a shot.
Let's check it out. So,
I bet you'll really love World War II history.
I might get my necklace back, though, right?
If we determine it's unrelated and safe, it will be returned.
Okay. Because there's another one.
What?
In my granddad's journal, he talks about this one's the amulet of the moon, or the talisman of the moon, but there's also a talisman of the sun, and so there's. I want that one back if I can, because it'd be my life's work to get the talisman of the sun too. And if I could get them together, yeah. Eloise is like, Tommy, let's get you back to bed. She just starts to shuffle him up.
It's good to have goals, isn't it?
Yeah. My grandpa couldn't get it, but I might.
So they shuffle them up there. I'm gonna be like, Gavin, box. What
journal?
Well, the journal part, I've put 2 and 2 together on that part. I was very confused as to why you were sending him upstairs back to get the box. So that box is like super important, and we have to have it. And you know that for a fact, right?
I got nothing there, but I know that sometimes you put an artifact inside a box, and the box keep the artifact safe. I took a shot.
You know what? Can't fault it.
I can, because if they wanted to make a really big deal out of this, they could really make this investigation difficult. And now he knows that you took the book.
I mean, he's hopped up on drugs. I could sneak it back in there later.
You know what? We'll cross that bridge if we come to it.
So we gotta read this book now, because he's maybe.
We gotta find Matt.
Yep. Who wants reading the book and who wants interviewing Matt?
Eloise comes back down the stairs. Just one last goodbye. I hope you find what you guys are looking for. Earlier you said Lauren Harrigan's name? Is she caught up in this too?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. I can't really give you precise details. We would like to still interview your husband when he gets home, though, if that's okay.
That is okay, and it's terrible to hear about Lauren. She had a good head on her shoulders.
Did you know her well?
I knew her mother, Sandra. I know her mother, Sandra.
Were you too close?
We would hang out every now and then. We've got a group of friends here in Glen Ridge. Like a bowling team.
Oh, well, good to know. You probably want to check on Sandra the next few days.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Well.
All right. I just wanted to deliver my head on shoulders line. And, yeah, you guys can do whatever you want now.
All right. Who wants interview with Matt and who wants read book? Who has a mythos score?
I have a mythos score.
Who wants to go a little insane?
It's 2. I'm way past the little insane. Let me read a crazy book. Although she's a witch, man, maybe we could both read it. Let's both go crazy. Also, my accent might have changed pretty bad. Shoot him, Lisbeth. Shoot. Okay, there it is. Found it.
I'm glad we could work through that together.
Your asshole's going a little insane. I don't like leaving my house, and every now and then my accent goes to Jamaica.
I don't think I have a mythos score, but also I have an occult score.
You could try to use the occult if the GM is comparable to it.
Oh, there it is. Cthulhu Mythos.
You don't want a mythos score unless you want to lose sanity.
No, I just couldn't find it to say whether or not I had it.
Who's doing it?
Let me read a book.
I could read a book. I could talk to a teenage boy.
I can ride a bike with them.
Okay, well, I'll drive the car.
All right, where are you driving to?
He's just Ken.
I figure first we'll call the school and see if Matt's in school.
Matt is in school today.
And we will drive back
Good
to
for
the
him.
school.
Excellent. It's only a couple blocks. So in the meantime... Oh, the car wrecked. Sorry. I don't know what happened.
I was driving.
Oh!
It's okay that
In the meantime, Kizik and Allie will read this book together. And I'm gonna put this in Ghost 20 Modern. Here is the first excerpt. So this is the journal of Derek Wheeler, mainly around his trip to the highlands of Peru. And basically it talks about his journey to this little cliffside village where he meets an elder. And the elder tells him about a creature called an Ayapa, or the Silent Ones. They were spirits of air and stone, once bound to the priests of the old temples. And he has an amulet that he talks about already. He says that it's a clay disc. So that's his first one. And then it goes on for 4 more pages. And I'll give you those here shortly. Bam! Here's the second one.
Whoa.
So this one, July 10th, 1933, he says that he found an altar just west of the village under an overhang, buried under a tangle of moss and hummingbird-filled vines. A platform etched with world-overlapping patterns that don't match any Inca, Paracas, or Chavan designs that he has studied. It talks about a figure depicted at the center, a hunched thing with wings curled like fern fronds and eyes that stare in every direction at once. He talks about the stones maybe humming with a sense of power. He took rubbings of the etchings, and when he got back to his equipment, he realized that somebody broke into his equipment. So that was some daunting shit. Here's July 11th. Sorry, does anybody else want to read this so that it's not all just me?
No, you're doing a great job.
July 11th, 1933. I should leave, but I won't. This morning I dreamt of the Ayapa. Not in metaphor, but in form. It unfolded from the sky like a manta, trailing smoke and stars. It spoke no words, but I understood it. It offered strength in exchange for reverence. I awoke gripping the amulet so tightly it left an imprint in my palm. I returned to the altar and placed the amulet in the central depression, and the hum intensified. I stayed there for what must have been hours, watching shadow and sunlight play along the carvings. I swear they moved of their own accord, lines realigning, figures flexing. When I finally pulled the amulet away, the ground beneath me trembled, just for a moment. This is the connection I have sought. I will try one last thing tomorrow at dawn.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. We don't get what happened. It's the last page.
Damn it! So he just didn't try it, or he didn't write it down?
Yeah, something stopped him from writing it down. But, yeah. What do you guys want to do with this knowledge? Oh, let's talk to Matt. We're back at the school. Principal Carl Weathers brings you back into the conference room, and the kid Matt is brought up from his fifth block. I was wondering if I had a picture of him. I'm just going to use this guy. Hey, what's up? I'm Matt.
What's up,
Can I help
Matt?
you guys? Hey, what's up?
I was muted. Hello, Matt.
Hi.
So, I understand that you're friends with Tommy Dingler.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Tommy. Dang. Yeah, the Dangler. Yeah.
Matt, you think you could sit still?
Nope. I'm always moving.
Okay. Carry on with your questions.
I just wanted to ask you if you had any specific relationship with either Dr. Carl Moretti, Vanessa Hatvan, or Lauren Harrogate.
Hatvam was the librarian lady that died, right? And Lauren, I want a relationship with Lauren. I mean, she's hot.
Okay. You know if Tommy had any interactions with these individuals?
I mean, Tommy wanted to get with Lauren too, man. No, that's the only thing I knew about.
I hear you have interest in Roman history, while Tommy seems more interested in ancient South American history. You know anything about those?
Who are you, man? You're like the FBI listening to phone conversations, man? This is like, yeah, I like Roman shit, and Tommy likes... I mean, we're like... played Dungeons and Dragons, man. Like, it's all a fantasy.
I mean, South American history and Roman history, neither of those things are a fantasy, Matt. They happened. But
yeah, but I mean, like,
I understand what you're saying.
The armor, yeah, okay.
I'm quite satisfied, Matt. Thank you for...
Matt, do you often have trouble recalling long periods of time?
No.
Like, if I asked you what you did last night, could you tell me?
Played video games, man. We were up pretty late, me and the Dangler.
Wait.
Steve was there too. We were doing a dungeon.
Great. Sounds fabulous. I'm sure you had a great time. You have a good day.
Yeah, you too, I guess. Cool, man. So, do I have to go back to class?
That's between you and the principal. But we're done here. Thank you.
I would strongly suggest you go back to class.
Yes, Mr. Grady, says Carl Weathers as he grabs Matt from behind the neck. You have to go back to class.
Well, I apologize. That was a colossal waste of time. Let's continue on.
No, it was, but we had to do it. You know, check it off the list.
Still suspicious.
He's up to something. He's up to something.
Shady guy's named Matt.
He may not be up to this, but he's up to something.
He's gonna be devastated when he hears about Lauren.
Yep.
I'm suspicious he knew who the librarian was. That kid's never stepped foot in a library.
It's where study hall is.
Didn't you hear?
Everybody knows.
Didn't you hear the other teacher say this librarian had candy? That guy definitely gets candy.
Oh, true.
Yeah, man. That's where you get airheads.
I can see Eloise's issue.
Yeah, she hates Matt. All right, so you guys have an ancient Peruvian amulet called the Amulet of the Moon. You guys have an agenda. At some point, I need to remind you that the Long Island medical examiner, Dr. Santorini, has the gray polymer samples. And something will have to be done about that. You'll need to address that.
Well, they've got a lot of reading to do. Let's take that long drive out to his facility, pick those up. I think we should get a, Kindle edition of that book that Thomas was reading and earmarking. And since since Gavin was the one who flipped through it and saw which pages were earmarked, he can try to reconstruct that, although I would have snapped a bunch of pictures with my phone. And the two people who are intelligent in this area can try to figure it out while I drive the car.
Everybody know that?
Sound like a good plan.
Sure.
When you read in a car, do you get sick?
Yeah, but I've got those special glasses with the liquid in them.
No, what?
Okay. You'll know in 1 second.
I'm very interested. These glasses have liquid in them? Okay, got an Amazon link to some glasses.
They do got liquid.
What?
How you got 4 eyes? There's too many eyes.
That's a zigzag glasses. Featuring an anti-glare lensless design and framed by 4 circular rims. So no lens, just rim.
Yeah.
Simply wear these car sickness glasses and the liquid-filled circle creates an artificial horizon in your field of vision. Our car sick glasses help resynchronize your visual system and balance system with no side effects. These anti-nausea glasses provide a simple and safe solution. Huh. So you're walking around with a bubble level.
Yep, I want to point out a couple of things. First
Riding
off,
around.
this product description, this first photo, really badly photoshopped thing, and then wearing that glasses. That's one of the first thing I want to point out.
Oh yeah, the guy fishing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's item number 1. Item number 2, that second lens can't be like, and in the Photoshop picture from the brand, it's not even in where her eyes can see. This is really bad product marketing. It is only $8 though, so I have to imagine their budget is pretty low. Oh my god, the guy's in the car.
Oh man, the gangsters
Yeah,
with the money.
right there.
They
yes.
have money, like
Yes.
a stack of bills, and then the fucking Photoshop
Yes. Oh my
glasses
god, this is so bad.
that, if they were correct, would be tilted in a way where the bubble would be
Yeah, I mean, also they say there's no side effects, but looking like an absolute like
dingus.
That doesn't do it justice, but yes, like
Dude.
You know when you and your friend live in GTA and you gotta ride around?
Yes.
That's that picture.
There are reviews with images of real people wearing these.
I like the family photo of all 4 people just out in the world wearing these glasses.
I need to find it. There's a lot of pictures with people not wearing them.
the very first review says gag gift.
Ended up actually working. Nice.
Ugh.
Oh man, I almost want to order these and just walk into work wearing them.
From nauseous to notorious.
You would be notorious.
That's the title of our review.
Wow, that's that should be on, like, if I had a Tinder profile.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, that's what you do. But
That's the title of
but just Photoshop
my
them on.
memoir.
Don't really put them on.
Yeah, title of my memoir.
Oh my god.
Maintains a horizontal line. So yeah, I would be able to see if my ears are level with these. Anyway, we have wasted enough time on that.
Yes.
That's not a complex anybody needs.
I apologize for everybody watching the VOD of this. It is like, oh my god. But also,
Right.
you need to just go look that up.
I'll post a link in the comments.
Oh man, those are going to be like futuristic eyewear.
If we start doing in-person Traveler games, I will have to buy a set of those so I can be like, these are my sci-fi Prius binoculars.
Oh, yes.
They also amplify sounds. That's why they've got the extra ones.
The ones on the sides, yeah. All right, sorry. So you guys are driving to Santorini's office. It's an hour and a half from Glenridge. You guys are driving towards New York City, but it's Highway 31. And, yep, it's about an hour and a half. You guys get to his offices, and you see his Ford Thunderbird hanging out in a parking lot out front. The medical examiner's office is in a huge
Sorry, did we get
building.
distracted and skip the scene where they were doing the research during the road trip, or
We've already done the reading, man.
We did the reading.
with your amazing glasses?
We read the journal.
You said those words, but did you draw conclusions from that? I guess was what I'm asking. My bad.
The conclusion was he never journaled what he did at dawn.
No, guys, I said let's get the books that the kid was using for research to see if you can find any references to this stuff in the research material. The kid had a book on his nightstand.
You're asking Kizik and I to synthesize and summarize the last of the ink and imp whatever.
Yes, that's why I said it's a long trip. Get it on Kindle, read the thing, and draw a conclusion. Yes, that's exactly what I was asking.
Even with the time it took us to distract with the motion sickness glasses, we didn't have... What do you want from us?
It's an hour and a half down, and be an hour and a half back. The two of you could probably split up that book and read a bunch of it. You wouldn't find much.
They got any mentions of the talisman of the moon or the sun?
No. The Last Days of the Incans does not comment anything on the talismans of the moon or the sun. It does comment on, and would have been tabbed, you would have remembered this from his copy, when it speaks about ancient Incan temples. There is a section of the book that speaks about how those old temples were built, and in Incan mythology, they were built using spirits of sky and earth, or I'm sorry, sky and light that would form the stone bricks that made up the temples. That was tabbed.
Take a quick bio. I'll be back.
Any mention of the Api Ayapa?
The Ayapa are not mentioned in that book.
And you said that the temples were built with light and earth, not air and stone?
Did I mess that up? Air is one of them. Sorry, air and stone. You're right.
I didn't know if I was looking for 4 elements or 2.
Yeah, just 2. You look up, on the internet, the talisman?
Oh, of course. We got an hour and a half to kill.
And I would definitely be putting this into the Codex laptop.
All right, so... Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. I am going to sneeze.
Go for it.
Oops. Sorry.
You AI prompted a group chat.
I wrote in the wrong place. Yeah, it definitely has it though.
That's good.
So long story short, there's a museum in Peru that has an article about picking up what they call the talisman of the sun from a anonymous donor. They've had it for 5 years on display. What is the capital of Peru?
Lima.
In Lima, thank you.
Let me double check myself. Ah, yes, I was correct.
Yeah, so long story short, this journal for Derek Wheeler calls the amulet that he has the talisman of the moon, or amulet of the moon. And then the article that you find for the museum in Lima says that they have an amulet of the sun.
So, which one was he putting into the thing?
So he had the amulet of the moon, and he was
Okay.
putting that into the depression.
Gotcha. And then they have the other one.
The museum's curator, yes.
Okay, cool.
You guys figured out what was gone?
Oh, we found a museum that's got the other talisman.
Is it convenient?
No, it's in Lima, Peru.
It's gonna require.
We're in Long Island.
That's gonna require a few tanks of gas.
Yeah.
We also figured out that Incan book mentioned spirits of air and stone, much like the journal book does.
And not the spirit in the sky. Or
Oh,
yes.
yeah. No, the Los Silenciosos are the silent ones. Those are the air and stone, spirits of air and stone.
Okay.
Oh, man, does that mean that their initial, calling down was to help them build a temple, and now they're just kind of hanging out and doing whatever they want?
I'm sorry. Which is it, the sun or the moon in the museum?
The museum's got the sun one. We got the
Okay,
moon
so
one.
we have the moon. Ah.
Who's wearing it?
Where?
The amulet.
It's in the evidence bag.
None of us. Are you crazy?
Oh, no, go ahead and roll me a d6.
Everyone, I'm assuming.
Yep.
I got a 4.
Gotta find a D6.
I got a 5.
I got a 1.
All right, so Allie's wearing it.
It doesn't go with my outfit.
Nope, you don't remember putting it on either.
Well, shit. Hey guys, so the thing's on me.
We'll take it off.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you take it off.
Yes, and I obviously very easily take it off.
Well, since now you're touching it, let's put it in the box and back in the bag.
Yes.
Let's see if we can vindicate Kizik's decision that we had to have that box.
You gotta put it in a box. That makes it safe.
Put it in the box.
In the
It's in the box.
We hang out way too much.
Yep. All right. So you put it in the box and then put it back in the bag. You seal the bag and continue driving, getting all the way down and researching everything to the medical examiner's office. Big building. Lots of people in here. It's now mid-afternoon. Did you guys stop for lunch?
Yeah, we could do drive-through.
Get some hamburgers.
Yeah, Jasper gets hangry if we don't eat regularly.
It's true.
You don't like Jasper when he's hangry.
So you guys show up. Dr. Santorini is running a morgue, basically. He's got a lot of examination tables and a lot of cold lockers. And you guys walk in, and he's doing an autopsy on Lauren's body. That was the one that was found in the power tower this morning on Highway 31. And he's taking a sharp pick-like instrument and going into her fingernails. And he's scraping the fingernails into a bag. Or what's contained underneath the fingernails. And he goes, yes, as I thought. Mm-hmm. He stands up and looks at you. Oh, hello. How are you doing today? Sorry. He takes his earphones out. He's listening to some loud music.
Is it polka?
Yes. I've isolated the bruising on her chest. Definitely happened post-mortem. She was dead when she hit the tower. We still haven't found her skull or spine, and I'm looking now more closely at the lacerations and marks of her spinal column as it got ripped out, and I still think it might be done with like a implement blunt, maybe for tree cutting, but I'm not 100% sure. The strangest part is this gray polymer found under the victim's nails.
What can you tell us about the polymer, Doc? It smells faintly of ammonia. It's the only information I have of it.
Yes, we sent it out to a couple different labs, but nothing concrete is coming back. They all say that it's been contaminated with something.
Interesting. I did a cursory search on ammonia-based things. I couldn't find anything directly related. Seems like chlorine does something to neutralize ammonia, but that's probably not super helpful. You have any thoughts on what this could have come from, or if it's some kind of poison, or...
My first thought was that it's a product found in the area that each of the victims would have been in. Maybe even something on the clothes of the attacker, or on the skin, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's a cleaning product.
I mean, that's a reasonable hypothesis. However, I was really hoping for more of a scientific analysis. Okay, so you have some samples of it. We have some lab personnel that might be able to make some use out of that. Can we get some of the samples of it? Actually,
yeah.
Metagame-wise, weren't we supposed to get all the samples?
Above table, Delta Green mission. Yes. Get all the samples and make sure that this normie can't check out this gray polymer anymore.
Okay, we'll ask for all of the samples.
All of them? He looks kind of nervous.
Well, yes, you haven't really been able to give us any scientific readings on it, and your lab has said that they don't have the ability. We have more advanced facilities, but we'll need a bunch of the samples, so we'll take what's left.
Okay. I can do that.
I appreciate your cooperation.
He'll go and gather up 3 of his samples.
Is that all of them?
Give me a psychology roll.
I'm burning these psychology rolls this time. Good thing I put points into this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so
Interrogations.
that is a hard success, not an extreme one.
There is another... He's holding back on you.
Doctor, it's very important that we have all the samples.
I don't have the last one here.
Where's the last one?
I sent it out. After my lab came back inconclusive, I shipped the last one.
Shipped it to...
The CDC.
Okay. In order to ship something that is a potential contagion, you would need a specialized courier. That takes a significant amount of time. That would mean that the sample's still here somewhere waiting to be shipped out.
It wasn't today's sample. It was from Mrs. Hatfan's body. I shipped it out 10 days ago.
Okay. That wasn't in your initial report.
No, I didn't tell anybody about that one.
Can I roll psychology? He's telling the truth about this.
Yes.
Yes, I can roll psychology. Yes, he's telling the truth.
Yes, he's telling the truth. We can go off the psychology you did roll.
Okay. Very well. We will have to pull some strings and do what we can about that. Thank you, Doctor. I turn back to my colleagues. Anything I missed?
I think at one point or another, you guys were trying to look at all of the bodies together, do some sort of forensics, but I don't know if anybody actually has that skill or wants to do that still.
That is one of the reasons I turned to my teammates and said, "Hey guys, any of your specialties you want to do here?"
I don't have a forensic skill. The going hypothesis is that they were decapitated via something blunt.
That's his hypothesis. We know that's not true, but I'm not going to discourage him from making false identifications.
Okay, that's what I needed to hear because I was confused.
Old Gavin's gonna.
Well, actually, him.
Well, actually,
it was a monster.
with teeth.
Yeah, the only one I've done that to as a kid nobody's going to believe anyway.
Now, I did it to a kid too, but I enjoyed it.
Kizik, you were saying something?
Gavin's not the smartest about the airplanes and stuff, but I think he's gonna talk a little bit loud to Eckert, to Graham. He's gonna say, "Hey, you know more about airplanes than I do, but could a prototype airplane / helicopter be flying around in the skies, and could some kind of lubricant leak from that helicopter as a terrible victim got hit by some kind of helicopter blade and then fall way out of the sky?" Then he's gonna smile, this goofy smile.
You're doing this because you're still in front of Santorini?
Yes,
Laying that
he
down?
blatantly is. I mean,
Yes.
it's and in Graham minds, it's hard for him to go along with it because it's such an incredibly far-fetched thing that it would happen like 3 times in a row. But he's like, I suppose it's possible. It fits the facts, even if it is a little unlikely. And I'll help him plant that seed.
Santorini nods. Lubricant. Like aeronautic lubricant. Okay. He jots down a note.
It's cryptid poo.
I think it's cryptid poison, but either way, we have to make a phone call to our handler because we need to get that shipment to the CDC isolated and stopped.
Can we ask him why he felt it necessary to send it to the CDC? Did he say that? And
He didn't.
He did not, no.
Okay.
But if you want to ask him, you can.
Okay. Dr. Santorini, why did you feel like you ought to send that last sample to the CDC? What?
It's a polymer, not a contagion.
At the time I sent it, well, I have a buddy that I went to college with. He works at the CDC now. He likes checking out all the weird and interesting things. He and I talk every now and then, and I haven't really come across anything crazy or interesting in a long time. So when I found something, I really wanted to send it to him. His name is he'll tell you, it's like Michael Bubble Yum or something. But he'll say I sent it to him. Really, it's just as a friendly look at this crazy shit I found. Check it out and get back to me, kind of thing.
So it wasn't like a scientific instinct thing. It was more based on you just wanted to show off to your buddy.
Well, I couldn't figure out what it was with my lab, and the FBI couldn't figure it out. So, I figured Michael might be able to, and he's really good at it too. So, like almost an expert. So, when I couldn't figure it out, it's not just it is for scientific reasons. I do want the results, but really, it's a challenge between friends.
Okay.
Graham mumbles to himself, "We need a flashy thingy."
Kay, you ever flashy thing me? You ever flashy thing me, Kay?
You would tell me.
You tell me, right? All right, what's next steps?
Phone call to stop that shipment. I'll let our handlers handle that, as it is out of our immediate reach. And then I want to see if any assets we have can analyze this polymer any better than we can. Also, we have basically until 2, in my opinion, to figure this out. And the Peruvian artifact, the other medallion, is way outside of our range in that time frame. So I think we have to figure out how to turn this thing off with what we have. I know that the entity, from what the Codex has already told us, can act on its own accord. So I'm not sure we could just destroy the amulet and, fix the problem. But I think there might be a way to tell it, mission accomplished, go home.
You think he's going to try to attack Thomas's dad? He was pretty upset with him.
Yeah.
I don't know what direction it's been given. I also don't know how it magically appeared around Stella's neck. That is very concerning. It seems to have a will of its own, and judging from what you guys read out of those journals, I suspect there is a malevolent entity at work here. And we have to...
Also, why is it following the flight path?
It isn't.
It is.
It's not following the flight path of the UFO. It's been seen way outside of those parameters. The flight path of the UFO is absolutely a red herring. I mean, look at where these incidents have taken place.
Yeah.
Also way out at the edge at the Harrogate house.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just wondering if maybe... Let me look at something really quick.
If the new aircraft has anything to do with it, it's because they've seen this thing flying and they're trying to track it. In my
I'm just
humble
wondering
opinion.
if the new aircraft is like... Maybe something with it, like the vibrations or whatever, are triggering that thing. Or have something to do with it.
I mean, I'm down for any course of action at this point because I don't have a good answer myself. But what would you like to do with... Like, let's assume for a moment that is a correct assumption. What do we want to do?
Oh, I don't know.
So what we need right now is a course of action. I can theorize 100 different theories about the various ways this has gone down. But I think the wisest thing is to stick to the facts and to come up with something. We need a plan. So if we come up with a theory, it needs to be in service of creating a plan.
You guys are driving back from the Long Island Medical Examiner's office back to Glenridge. You don't really have a direction, but you knew that you were going to call a handler. Is that Carson, or are you going to call Kincaid? Silas.
I assumed that Carson would be our point of contact for all this stuff here. Isn't he the one who asked us to report in? I can flip way back in my notes.
Yeah, so Carson was the FBI agent that came to you guys and Silas and said, hey, I have already sent some field guys in here. They think that it's a serial killer. Can you guys come check it in? Or come check it out. So Carson was your original FBI contact. And he has asked, that you guys check in with him. But then again, you guys could just bypass him and go straight to your Florida Green contact.
Just to help me visualize, could we get lines drawn from where each victim was picked up and where they were found? Like if Lauren was picked up at her house and then dropped here. Okay, thank you.
Hold on. Just when I'm in that mode, there's Hat Man's house.
Then she was over here.
Yeah, but the trick is that Hat Man was actually at the school, so she didn't go very far.
Yeah.
And then Moretti.
Wait, her house is up here.
Yeah,
She wasn't there.
She was
I
at the
see.
school when she was grabbed.
And then Moretti was picked up at his office and dropped here.
He was picked up at his office. Yes.
Okay.
Why didn't that draw?
It did, but it's really thin.
Oh, weird.
Oh yeah, it did.
Plus or minus keys makes the thing bigger or smaller.
Yeah, I had it the same size as all the other ones. It's being weird.
Perfect.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you. I was starting to lose track of where things
Yeah.
were.
I hope that helps.
It does, yeah.
You also have Sorry, Kizik, but you also have the camera footage that you could go off of at the school. 1, 2, and 3, they went fuzzy, remember? Dangler's house is to the east of that. So if you think maybe it took off from Dangler's house and flew that way, then it would have done 1, 2, and 3 in that order, the way it was.
Okay.
Kizik, what were you going to say?
I got a regular FBI phone that I'm not going to say anything Florida Greeny. So I need to call Thomas Carson on a different phone. We don't have a secure way to get to him, right?
Correct. You have an FBI phone that he gave you, and then you've got your own personal phone that you can give him a shout on. That's probably encrypted with Vault tech. At this point, I think Marge would have hooked you up.
Have we asked Marge about the polymer?
Nope. Oh, wait. You guys had a lab in your plane, and then you sent 3D images to Marge, but I don't know if you ever sent the polymer to Marge.
Okay.
Send her some now.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to do anything?
I mean, we got to come up with a plan for 2 a.m. coming up.
I'd like to ask the Codex about these amulets.
Okay. The Codex would say something along the lines of there is a long list of artifacts belonging to ancient civilizations with powers, going from the Atlanteans to the Incans, the Mesopotamians, the Babylonians. All of them had their own little artifacts. These would, like, with the context of everything else that you're doing, they probably help summon the wing servitor and then command him or it to do something for the wearer. Possibly through dreams or at night. And maybe the ancient Incans used them to build their old temples.
Are we gonna have to watch this kid sleep?
I'm more worried about your.
My what?
I'm more worried about your dreams than his right now. You were the last one to wear the amulet.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Probably means I'm a dead man.
I could try to take a nap real quick.
Who's pissed
I
Stella off?
said it probably means I'm a dead man. She's like, let me take a nap. For science.
Yeah. Why wait till 2?
The Codex says, the mission now is probably bring the necklace back to the vault for safekeeping, or destroy it. One way or the other. It should be taken care of.
Surely we should find a way to stop the servitor. Are we just gonna let the people of Long Island die off?
Nobody'd miss it. I mean,
I am.
in absence
Look, we
of,
saved the people of Jersey. We have to save Long Island.
in the absence of a better plan, I am down for the let's take the piece we have to the vault. I'm sure we'll need it later and regret that decision, but I just don't have a better plan.
Just for my own edification, could we please call the museum in Lima and double check that the other amulet's still there?
Sure.
Okay. Just because imagine.
Matt had it the whole time.
Yeah, Matt's wearing it on a chain.
All right, so let's do this all dramatic like. You call down, or Marge calls, somebody calls the museum in Lima,
That would absolutely be a Marge task, I think. She would be able to handle that the best.
right? And then Marge would call you back, and she would go, funny story. There was a break-in at the museum in Lima last night, and the amulet was stolen. They have it on camera, and I'm going to send you the video.
Of course she is, because Marge definitely already has the video cleaned up, enhanced.
Yep. And it's enhanced to the point where, like all Mission Impossible, this like dun dun dun, like draws, cuts a hole in glass and drops down on a line. This figure in like a cat suit, and then goes up to the amulet in like a glass case and smashes it with some like sonic thing, and then the camera like zooms in, and this person is takes his mask off to look at the amulet before he grabs it.
Oh, for
Get
fuck's
someone
sake.
you recognize.
Told you he was a bad guy.
Mr. Kevin Edwards.
I have never doubted that he was a piece of shit. Roll the tapes.
Roll the tapes.
I
I
hated
heard
him
it.
from day one.
I heard it. And that's where we're going to end it. Let's end it on that bombshell with you watching the video and being like, I've always hated this guy. And thanks for playing.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have to get to Peru. And yes, the decision to bring the necklace back to the vault. That's the right call.
Yeah, we don't need to have that be carrying that around.
Now, and you guys will figure out in the time taking it back to the vault that while it's in the box, it doesn't jump onto people. If it's out of the box, it will jump onto people.
Yeah, Kizik, you were right.
Yay!
Good call. So it never jumps out of the box. It never jumps back onto Stella. But, yeah. Stella, your dreams for a couple nights at least are like unsettling, rustling wings, and the feeling of a presence or a power that is at your command.
Huh. Well,
Did you say you really hated Kevin Edwards?
Yeah.
We'll get back to that in a second.
Yeah, let's see what happens there.
I said it at the first vault, like the first vault episode.
Right?
I don't like this guy.
I
This
mean,
is Clone Boy, right?
Yeah,
he was coming out of the vending machine.
This is the one I was trying to hunt down and kill because he came out the vending machine and Silas was like, that could be bad. And I was like, all right, well, let me go fix my mistake.
There can be only one, Kevin.
And that's more than enough.
But I'm going to go ahead and call the stream there. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. And we'll see you next time.